Welcome to the year 500 BCE. Here is a typical scene of daily life in ancient Greece. A slave is weaving a dress for her mistress. Some girls are taking the amphory to the agora to be filled with wine. Some children are playing knucklebones, a popular game in ancient Greece. In the center of the stage is a famous philosopher contemplating about the meaning of life.
Hey, what's going on? Why are so many people surrounding that man?
What? Don't you know who that is? It's Socrates, the cleverest man in all of Greece. This is a school for philosophers. Those people are the students. They come here every day to study politics, math, and the meaning of life.
Why is Socrates standing like that?
He's thinking. He's been known to be standing like that for 24 hours without moving. He's been known to be thinking about a lot of things. Let's go and join him. Look, Socrates has stopped thinking. Hello, Socrates. What were you thinking?
Oh, you know, this and that. Why are y'all staring at me?
We've come here for your words of wisdom, Socrates. We want to learn from you.
Very well. Here's some good advice. If you eat biscuits in bed, you have a very crummy sleep. Tell me more, Socrates. A man with only one chopstick will always go hungry. Mummies go on holiday to relax and unwind. The best time, if you want to find a good doctor, you have to be patient. The best time to go to the dentist is 2:30. 2:30. 2:30. Get it? It's a joke.
Really, Socrates, stop this joking. Some of us have traveled from all over Greece to listen to your wisdom. We don't want to listen to any more of your feeble jokes. We have come here to learn.
You're right. We're here to contemplate more serious things. Now there's one thing that has been troubling me recently. The future and the legacy of Greece.
What do you mean, Socrates? Greece is the greatest civilization that has ever existed on Earth. Why are you thinking about our legacy? Greece will continue forever.
If only. We all know that every civilization must come to an end. Nothing lasts forever. I want to think about how people in the future will think about us. What will our greatest achievement be?
That is an interesting question, Socrates. I would say the greatest achievement of ancient Greece would be our science and mathematics. This is the thing that people in the future would remember us for.
Please tell me more.
Ancient Greeks made many important scientific discoveries. One of them was Eratosthenes. Here's the story of how he measured the circumference of the Earth.
Good morning, Plato. How are you this wonderful morning?
Very well, Eratosthenes. And you, I hope the gods are treating you well.
Yes, my daughter is expecting a child. Zeus must be looking severely upon you. Tell me, Plato, what time is it? It's noon. It's noon? That's strange. You see the walking stick you're holding right there? A shadow is always shorter at noon than during other times during the day. Have you ever noticed that?
Of course. It's because the sun is at its highest point at noon. And I'll tell you something even stranger. Once my friend went on holiday to Africa, and he told me that there is no shadow at all. No shadow at all, I tell you.
How peculiar. How could that be?
Must be the gods playing a trick on us.
I don't think so. I'm sure we can use logic to solve this problem. Look, we know that the Earth is a sphere. So, where your friend went in Africa, the sun must be directly overhead. How far was this place where your friend visited?
About 4,000 kilometers.
Quickly, measure that angle.
It's 36 degrees.
Okay, so we know that 360 degrees is in one circle. 36 degrees is in 1/10.
Yes, Eratosthenes, go on.
So, 360 degrees equals 4,000 kilometers. That means 360 degrees equals 40,000 kilometers. Eureka! The circumference of the Earth is 40,000 kilometers.
You might be right, but how are you gonna ever prove it? Are you gonna walk around the earth?
You might be right. All the logical stuff is giving me a headache. Let's go eat some olives and drink some ambrosia.
Eratosthenes measured the circumference of the Earth was 40,000 kilometers. The most sophisticated satellites these days measure the circumference of the Earth was 40,008 kilometers. Not a bad guess. Not a bad guess, wasn't it? Yes, the Greeks are the greatest mathematicians and scientists the world has ever known. But how can we travel into space to prove our theories? I expect people in the future will think that we're crazy to say that the Earth was just a big rock crumbling around the sun.
You're right, Socrates. These scientific theories are about as much use as a belt made out of bread. Now I know how Greece will be remembered in the future. People will remember our stories, our gods and goddesses, our heroes, and our monsters. This will be the legacy of Greece.
Why don't you tell us one of your favorite stories?
Odysseus had been away from his homeland for 10 years. They had fought in the Trojan Wars and were sailing back to their homeland. They had stopped on an island for food and drink. Half of the men stayed on the boat while the others looked for something to help their terrible hunger on the island.
Look, men, a cave. Let's go inside. We can have shelter for the evening.
Look, a sheep we haven't eaten for weeks. Let's make a fire and roast it. That's a miracle but Zeus.
I don't think so. Perhaps somebody lives here, and he might just be a little angry if we eat his sheep.
Don't be ridiculous. What will you do anyway? We're Greek soldiers, the bravest and strongest soldiers in the whole world. I'm hungry for more.
Odysseus and his men ate a sheep and helped themselves to some goats, cheese, and bread they found. However, what they didn't know was that the cave was the home of the Cyclops, the most fearsome creature that ever lived in Crete. He was the height of a temple with a horn on the top of his head, as sharp as a Spartan sword. He was grotesquely ugly, bad-tempered, and violent. You wouldn't have wanted to be caught in the Cyclops cave without an invitation.
Who's there? I can hear voices. Who's in my cave?
Nobody. Nobody's in your cave.
Nobody? That's a strange name. Anyway, nobody. What are you doing here?
We're traveling home from the Trojan Wars, and we need somewhere to stay for the evening.
Really? Well, I didn't invite you.
You remember the rules of hospitality from Greece. A traveler can always stay at a fellow Greek's home for one single night.
I don't know anything about Excuse me. What are you eating?
A sheep. We saw it and cooked it in your cave. It's delicious. Would you like some?
That's Shaunus. You're eating my Shaunus. Oh, Zeus. How could this have happened?
Your Shaunus? I don't know who Shaunus is. Sit down and join us. Let's eat some of this tender lamb together and we'll tell you some of our adventures.
That's my Shaunus' fluffy tail. He was my favorite sheep. You pay for this.
The Cyclops flew in a rage. He picked up two of Odysseus' men and bit their heads off.
Ah!
Odysseus tried to escape from the cave, but he couldn't, because the Cyclops rolled a big rock in front of the entrance of the cave. Everything seemed hopeless. Then Odysseus had an idea.
Hello, Mr. Cyclops. How was your meal?
Not bad. Greek meat is a little bit chewy for me, though. Did you eat any of my shawnas?
Of course not.
Then I'll do you a favor. I'll eat you last. Ha 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 ha.
How'd you like me, Master? Roasted, boiled, or fried?
You're a funny man. I might even keep you alive so you can entertain me. Oh dear. Eating so much has made me sleepy. I'm going to get some shut-eye.
Sleep well, Master.
Odysseus knew that this was a chance. They worked all through the night to sharpen a log they had found in the cave. They put it in a fire until it was red hot. Finally, they picked it up and rushed at the Cyclops.
Two, one.
Ah! I can't see! I'm blind! Nobody has heard me! Nobody has heard me!
The Cyclops shouted so loudly that his brothers and sisters on the other side of the island heard him. However, when he said that nobody had hurt him, they thought he might be alright.
Why did you do that? I only had one eye before, now I don't even have that. You'll pay for this. It's time to let my lovely sheep out to feed. But you're not going anywhere. I'm going to sit by the mouth of the cave and pat my lovelies as they go up. I can feel whether it's one of my beautiful sheep leaving my cave or one of you horrible Greeks.
What are we going to do now, Odysseus? You made a Cyclops fire and he's going to eat us.
Don't be silly. Watch. Just jump under that sheep and the Cyclops won't be able to tell if it's one of us.
No, that sheep's wrong. I'm not holding on to that sheep currently.
I'll leave you here to be eaten by a Cyclops.
Fine then, Abdul. I don't want to eat Cyclops breakfast.
The soldiers clung to a sheep's belly. The Cyclops didn't know that they were hiding underneath the sheep. Odysseus and his men escaped from the cave. However, he would have to fight many more monsters before he returned to his homeland. So those adventures will have to wait for another day. Greeks are the greatest Yes, we have the greatest stories. What about the 12 labors of Hercules, Daedalus and Icarus, Theseus and the Minotaur? So many to choose from. Perhaps Greece will be remembered for its stories by the people in the future.
Socrates, I have an idea. Why don't we ask the oracle about Greece's legacy? The oracle can see into the future, so perhaps the oracle will know about Greece's legacy.
It's worth a try. Come over here, oracles. What do you say about Greece's legacy?
Skin of olive, hair of gold, eye of Cyclops, sail of boat. What's the future? Let me see. What will be Greece's legacy? In the future, the Greek civilization will spread all over the world. Let me take you 2,500 years into the future. On an island many thousands of kilometers from here, there's a country called Taiwan. It's a small island between Japan and China, and even there we will be able to see Greece's legacy.
Amphitheater was first designed by the Greeks. I'm sure you all know at least one amphitheater in Taiwan.
Some of the earliest mosaics came from ancient Greece. Here are some examples outside the Science Museum in Taipei. By the way, the Greeks were responsible for the science as well.
The word alphabet comes from the first two letters of the ancient Greek alphabet, which were alpha and beta. Many of the 26 letters in English comes from the ancient Greek alphabet.
More than 20% of the English English words come from Greeks. Here are some examples.
The ancient Greeks invented democracy. Citizens were able to choose their leaders in elections. Taiwan is also a democratic country. You might hear something about an election happening in Taiwan in 3 months' time.
The ancient Greek Olympics began 2,800 years ago in 776 BCE. Only men were allowed to compete and they weren't allowed to wear any clothes. The Deaf Olympics came to Taiwan 2 years ago. Fortunately, competitors have to wear clothes these days.
Columns were a common feature of Greek buildings. You might recognize where these Greek columns are in symbols.
Greek stories have traveled all over the world. You can even find the Trojan horse at a water park in Kaohsiung.
Wow, so the legacy of Greece is assured. Although ancient Greek people won't be alive in the future, our civilization will spread all over the world. We will be immortal like our gods and goddesses. Let's sing and dance to celebrate our immortality.
very, very proud mums and dads and family and teachers and children. I thought you were just fabulous. Well done. That's made me think today that if I want to do some really hard thinking all day, like Socrates, I'm really hoping there's going to be some olives and some ambrosia up on the Year 5 floor that I could do to help me along with that. You taught us all so many amazing things about the Greek legacy, and I really loved hearing about all those Greek things in Taiwan. That's just amazing. Children, your costumes are wonderful. I know that lots of mums and maybe some dads have helped with that, so let's give those mums and dads a clap. And all the gods, they think they're gods, you know who I'm talking about, Mr. Pag, Mr. Martin, all the teachers and everybody else involved with that show. Thank you very much.